Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Jason,
I'm Jackie.
and this is
Baby Gucci.
That's Gucci, and we are
The Flames.
all right. So we are back and ready for another edition of Keep the Flame Alive. This week, our episode, we're going to talk about parenting teens as a team. I'm not going to read the introduction, but we're going to talk about this sometimes challenging theme. And thank God that our kids are no longer teens, because that was fun while it lasted, but happy that it's done.
Yeah. I'm so happy that's done.
And now we have babies again.
I know, a baby kitten and a baby puppy. And you know what? She's just as hard. Oh,
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't go to the bathroom on you.
no,
She would never.
she would never.
All right. Well, once
My
again,
son did, though.
he did.
Sorry.
Good morning, everybody. If you're watching live, make sure you drop a comment or share the video. Go to Master Motivation Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. So let's jump right into the first question and let's talk about parenting teens as a team. So what does it look like to present a united front when parenting teens, and how do you stay aligned even when you disagree behind the scenes? This is a good question.
Oh.
Because so as most people know, and it's kind of like common, right? Like the boy is your baby, the girl is my baby, and we tend to favor them a little bit or treat them with a little bit more prejudice sometimes.
Is that fair?
I mean, it's true. It's just true.
It's so true.
You're a little harder on Maddie. I'm a little harder on Mason. It's just true.
Oh
It
my
is.
gosh.
It is. But I think that when it comes to challenges or situations, especially when they're a teen, it was important for us to be on the same page and to, at least when we talk with them, show that united front. But behind the scenes, we had our discussions.
Yeah, I think the best success we had was when we, kind of just swallowed it and said, okay, I'm going to go with what you said and I'm going to agree. And then we went, again, behind the scenes and said, I don't think that was a good idea.
Mhm.
Or, but as long as we are a united front, they're not winning the struggle of power and the,
Well, because even as they were super, super young, Maddie would come to you and ask you a question, and it would either be no, and then she would come and ask me, or go ask your dad.
yeah.
She didn't like your answer, so she was going to come to me anyway.
Or often, Dad already said yes. I was just seeing what you were going to say. And I'm like,
they use that pretty good. They use that
really good at
it. Yeah, but it would be easy for them to kind of get their way if we weren't on the same page. So we had to at least be on the same page, so we always knew that they were going to come to us separately too.
Yeah.
Especially as teenagers, they're going to try to what's the word, as they say now, finesse the situation, right? So yeah,
because you were always kind of a 6'7".
Wow. Really? Does anybody understand that whole 6'7" thing? I do not.
Oh, it's so dumb.
It's dumb. But anyway.
Yeah, I think it is important. It was important for us to, there were times when I would like kind of look away and be like, I don't think this is the best idea. And like it usually was, you always had a good intuition, but I would talk with you about it later, because if we start arguing about their discipline in front of them, it's a loss.
It just gives them power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to empower them.
Can't do that.
You don't empower a teenager.
No. I mean, yes, but no, not in that sense.
Correct.
All right. Number 2.
Do you and your partner play different roles when it comes to parenting teens? And how do those strengths complement each other?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Good cop, bad cop. Like always. Like it just works. But yeah, I often play the I think sometimes I play the more sympathetic.
Yeah.
Right? I am.
A good guy?
I mean, I'm just, sometimes I'm a little bit softer. And for everybody that knows me, like the students are always surprised that I'm such a softie when it comes to Maddie. But yeah, I am a little bit more sympathetic, because I think it goes back to how we were raised in our upbringing. You had brothers that were 10 plus years older than you, and your parents were both working full time, and you kind of had a lot more independence. So you didn't have like mom and dad like thumb on you on every little detail.
Only because I didn't dare act out of line. You dared.
See, but and so I did. I pushed every boundary all the time. And my dad was the like if something was if we were in trouble, like and my dad got involved, that was like the worst ever. Like that was it. That was the end of the line. But my mom was like the one that would have, you know, all the discussions with us and all the like kind of set boundaries and I would push literally every single one of them. So kind of looking back, um, I understand both of our kids push boundaries. They've always like asked questions. They never settle for um, they really never settled for anything less than kind of what they wanted. Um, but in a way, I think that was good for both of them because um, they're better decision makers now and they understand things differently and um i I mean I think it's sometimes it is important to push the boundaries but um yeah, so that's how we played different roles.
We have a kitten in this house, not because of me, but because of you. And I didn't agree with it. And you were like, would it be so bad, really? Yeah, it's a lot of work. So
But I love the kitty. Where is Kitty?
he's on our bed. I can see his leg dangling over the back.
That see if we had both pets right now, like
Yeah.
that'd be such a good show. Anyway, all right, well, let's go to number 3. Talking about boundaries and trust. How do you set boundaries and build trust with your teen without slipping into good cop, bad cop, Diamond and Amix's parents? Well, so that just goes almost right to what we were saying. I mean, we built trust um, so much so that our kids are pretty open to telling us everything. Like we said before, Maddie sometimes will tell us more than we need to know or more than we want to know. But I think that there is that trust. And how did we do that? I think just early on, even as really little kids, like we just talk to them all the
Yeah.
time and ask them questions and open the door for them to ask questions very early. I mean, Maddie was talking like really early, and she was always very inquisitive. Um, always. So I think that that's one of the things that we did to build trust. Um, is just constantly having conversations, you know, on the way to school. I can remember even in like in middle school, that was like my favorite time because I got to talk to Mason or Maddie or whoever I was dropping off about what was going on at school, what was going on with their friends, what was going on, like, you know, what are the little conflicts that are happening? What are the temptations that are happening? Um, why things are good, why things are not good, what happens when you make those decisions, talking about consequences. So I think that understanding all of that pretty early on built a lot of trust. And even now, you know, they have a conscience knowing how we feel and what we think.
And keeping their friends involved, like giving their friends rides and kind of just silently listening to that dynamic without really interjecting and or judging and kind of knowing where their friends' parents are at and having them over and that and asking questions about their relationships. I think that's important to
Mhm.
do. And I don't think we did a lot of good cop, bad cop because in some ways that's kind of selling out your partner. I think I mean there would be times definitely, but I think we were so much more on a united front and are than the
Mhm.
good cop, bad cop.
I mean, I don't think that the good cop, bad cop is like I think the way it sounds is just different than the way I interpret it. Not saying that like I'm gonna give in, the good cop gives in to everything, and the bad cop is always the one that says no. That's not really. Um, I think that sometimes I would take when I say good cop, I would take the role of I'm gonna look at it from their perspective and try to help understand things from their perspective instead of just no, I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's not even a question. It's just no. So when I talk about good cop, I'm thinking more understanding their perspective, letting them talk it out, almost Maddie's a pretty good salesperson if you guys know her. And so she
That
could
was Mason.
yeah, I mean they can sell it pretty good, but I think that that's because like I would say, okay, well, why do you think that this decision is better than the alternative, or why do you think you should be allowed to do this? I mean, our kids were pretty good. I mean, they didn't get in a ton of trouble, and so they never wanted to do things that were that crazy and out of the ordinary. But there were definitely some things where we set limitations.
Yeah.
So, and also going back to the friend situation. I mean, our both of the kids' friends feel comfortable enough to come over to our house, sit on the couch, and talk with us about their challenges and their problems or what's going on in their life. So I
Yeah.
think that that always kept the open door policy pretty solid and comfortable and confident that we were going to hear them out.
Right. Okay. Staying connected in the chaos is the
Chaos.
big topic, because you're running around like a crazy person at this age. They're independent, but they still need you.
Yeah,
Um,
they need rides.
Wow, they found rights.
Teenagers.
With everything going on in a teen's life, how did we stay connected, as for us as a couple, and avoid letting parenting consume our lives, but without being absentee parents at the same time?
Well, I think establishing, a good moral compass early on made it easier for us to give them more independence. You know, we had strong values and morals that things that we believe in and things that, no lying, no stealing, no cheating. That's an Eddie Guerrero, but never mind. Come on. You don't know. We just watched it.
God
Okay.
rest his
Never.
soul.
I know. Thank you. Um, So we just I think that we helped establish a good moral compass so that when as they got older, um, we didn't have to worry so much about making, a lot of bad decisions. Or when they did make a decision that we were confident that they were going to make a good decision. Um, so again, I think that's what and that helped us stay connected because we didn't have to like micromanage every single little thing. It was like, okay, you're going to a friend's house, cool. Call us when you get there. Call us when you need us to come pick you up, or call us when you get home. That kind of
And
stuff.
like starting in middle school, they fifth grade graduation, they got phones.
Mhm.
That's when we did phones.
Life 360.
And Life 360, it was you were free to move about the community with your friends, but you got to keep your Life 360 on. And that was fair. The only thing is it shoots back at us now, right? Like, oh, are you at Starbucks? Can you bring me something? Because they can track us the way we can track them.
Yeah,
Really just Maddie. But you know, it happens. Both of them.
yeah,
If I see you're at Target, I think I need more of this.
and I mean, and so with everything going on in a teen's life, like how do we stay connected? Well, last episode we talked about, dating is not dead, and so we were able to still, go out for dinner, go to the movies, and we still had our time. We didn't get too wrapped up in overscheduling ourselves with stuff. I mean, they had their sports. Maddie had dance.
And we
They
never
had
missed any
karate,
of it.
and yeah, and that all fit. So um, yeah, I don't think that parenting consumed our relationship, although that's, other than being a husband and wife, like that's our most important job is, being a good mom and dad.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Leadership versus friendship. What does it mean to be a parent first and a friend second? And how do you stay on the same page about that with your spouse? Um, yeah, this is a big topic. And being a martial arts instructor for over 30 years, I've seen way too much parents, especially younger parents, trying to be friends with their kids. And I think there's a difference between being friendly or being respectful and being close.
On the
And
same level.
right.
There's a
But
different.
as a parent, we have a job, we have a responsibility. When it becomes friend, first, then it's like, well, you're doing Tired?
know.
You're still in your pajamas anyway.
I know.
You can go back and take a nap.
Right.
When parents are friends first, they worry more about how their child is going to feel about them, or like, let me see if I can use the right words. Like a parent, like, I think really likes to look cool
Yeah.
in front of their kid, like the clothes or this or that or where they go, pictures, social media. Sometimes I can't tell. Are you a parent or are you a friend? And I think we always establish that we are parents first. Absolutely. Now, young adults, it's different. We get to spend time with our kids in a different way, like going out with them to a movie or dinner or show or on vacation is totally different than when they were kids.
Yeah.
But as teenagers, um, I ain't your friend. It's just not, that's not how it's going to work. This is our house. And, sometimes they take out the trash, right, Mace? Um, sometimes. But, I think that whole thing of being a friend to your child, it really blurs the line. And I think that it changes the level of respect. I think it changes the level of reverence. And that trickles down into how they feel about other things too. So, I mean, like, if they don't have enough respect and reverence for their parents, what is that going to be like for their grandparents? What is that going to be for other adults? What is that going to be for their teachers and their coaches? So I think that the relationship that we establish as parents also establishes how they deal with other adults.
Yeah. I think anybody in authority is then deemed friends to them, right? Like, I mean, your parents should have that reverence, and you see it all the time, and we saw it with our kids' friends growing up. Oh, she's so cool. We did this, we did that. And it kind of makes it hard on the parents who want to do better. And but you just have to stay strong. And you want to be the cool parent too. But
Yeah.
in the long run, it's not worth it.
I mean, but I think what makes us a cool parent is, again, like, both of the kids' friends come over, hang out, they'll eat dinner with us, they'll watch a movie with us, they'll sit on the couch with us and just hang out. And they're open to us because they feel safe enough to talk to us. They feel comfortable enough. They have enough respect to ask our opinions.
Yeah.
Um,
Eat my muffins.
they love the muffins. When I go to the gym, here's a really prime example. When I go to the gym, I see a lot of Mason's friends, and there's some of them that'll walk up to me and be like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And okay, cool, whatever. Like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" But then there's the other kids that come up and they're like, "Hey, Mr. Flame, how are you? It's good to see you." Just a difference in, like, I can tell how they were raised.
Yeah.
Like, if they were raised with parents that taught them, like, you don't go up to another adult and be like, "What's up, bro?"
Right.
It's, there's a level of respect and reverence there. And so I think that that is super important. And I think that you can have a friendship definitely as they get older. I mean, that's the best part, is that now, as they grow into adults, we can be friends. And when they have kids, much, much later, they'll have an idea of how they were raised. There's going to be some things that they're going to want to repeat, and there's going to be some things that they're going to say, I just don't. I wish my parents would have done it different, and they're going to try it different, and it's going to work or it's not going to work.
It's not gonna work.
Well, I know how my parents were, and there's a lot of things, I've told the kids from a young age, like, when you watch people, you learn two things: you learn what to do or what not to do, and um,
There's value there.
yeah. And I will admit too, there's lots of things that I said I'll never do that when I'm a parent, and
Or
then
my kids would never do
and
that.
then I
But
just
that,
you just get hit in the face
yeah.
that, duh, you had no idea because you weren't a parent.
Yeah.
So, that's come back on me too.
Never say my kids would never, never, because they
Never say
will.
never.
They will.
Never say never.
And they lie. They're liars. They're little liars.
White lies. All right. Well, that is our discussion for today. Yeah, it's been, well, Mason's 20 now, so it's only been a couple years since he was a teen. But, like, I think the teenage years that I think were the hardest are the preteen, like 12, 13, 14, 15. Right around 16, it starts getting a little bit better because
Then
a little,
you're
little bit better because they want a car. And so if they need help, they need a car. And if we bought the car, we can kind of use that as a little bit of
we never
leverage.
took the cars away or the ability to drive, I don't
No,
think.
because I didn't want to drive them after that. Once
No,
they got their car, drive yourself.
I remember early on, Maddie, there were summers where Maddie had less of her phone than she did have her phone, right? We
Hmm.
took it away more, so the phone was a big for her.
Hmm. Yeah, the phone and social media.
We never
But
really grounded a ton.
uh no, not not as teens. When they got
Yeah.
grounded. They got sent to their room or they had to sit on the step and hold hands because they were fighting. Um,
But parents stay strong. It gets better. After they're 18, once they're out of the high school drama and the nonsense and the popularity contests and all the things that add so much stress onto these kids that we are not aware of how stressful it is. There's so much on their minds and it's a lot to handle for kids.
well, it's been a long time since we were teenagers, and so sometimes we forget what it was like. But yeah, I mean, as a teenager, there's lots of drama at school that we as parents, like even no matter how open your kids are, um, they don't tell us every little detail. I
No,
mean,
they're not aware of it either. Like even just the social positioning. Like
mhm.
they don't actually realize how impactful that is on their psyche and their emotions from day to day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. All the clicks and they're starting to figure it out. Like, when you're in elementary school, like everybody's friends. But then you go to middle school and it starts to kind of separate. And then even into high school, it separates even more because, you got sports kids over here, the smart kids over here, club kids over here, whatever.
Right.
And so yeah, but that's all. I mean, I think that makes life hard and it's hi, Gucci. It makes it just makes it more challenging. And social media has uh,
Yeah.
has made it difficult because now, like your friends can talk poorly of you, or your friends, other people will talk poorly of you, and it like gets broadcasted. Like before, it was like the telephone game. Like someone would say something, and it would take a while for it to kind of like get to everybody. But now it's like instant. Everything is like right away.
Yeah. We
So
have to figure
that's a challenge that we never had to deal with that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Our parents would just say, she's jealous of you. She's mean because she's jealous. No, they're just mean, some of these girls. And
Yeah,
um,
and all the FOMO, you know, so kids are, you would never know like who was invited or who showed up to a party
yeah.
until like the day or two after. But now it's like posting selfies at a party and they're like, well, nobody invited me, like I didn't know about that. And so that creates some additional drama and just pressure. And the grades with school are tough because now like everybody is constantly focused on like scholarships or getting into the right school.
APs and
Yeah, different classes, more challenging classes.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of pressure on teenagers that adults sometimes forget. And going back to some of the questions, it's just having the open line of communication of being able to talk about it and help give the advice to navigate it, because it's just not easy to do it alone.
Yep. And I applaud all the parents and and on Halloween, we always hear parents, I don't want to give any candy to teenagers. Teenagers, or they say I saw teenagers at Vons. They looked like they were going to steal at the grocery store. And I just wish people gave teenagers another chance, right? Like just cared about them more, understood them better. I always advocate for teenagers. Like I, I think they're just growing, they're developing, they're learning, and there's so many people out there that are not in their corner. So
And we as parents and other adults within our community or your community, um, authority versus influence is like a big thing to me. Like you can be the uh, don't do this and don't do that and criticize young people for all that they do, or you can be the one that kind of shows them the way. And I can remember being in high school, and I had a really cool teacher who he was my woodshop teacher, and I had him for several classes, and he was actually also the special ed. teacher. So he just had a unique way of like kind of tapping into every student and getting to know them a little bit and having a good relationship with them rather than being the teacher that like just didn't want to deal with any of it and would like send you to the office for any little thing. I mean, he was the teacher that said, if you're going to be late to class, just bring me breakfast and I'll be good, like that kind
I
of,
love
and
it.
it just created a different dynamic. Once again, authority versus influence. I can tell you what to do, or I can show you how to treat people and behave. And so that kind of comes to mind when I'm thinking about teenagers as well. And in our martial arts school, our for that age group, it's one of the hardest age groups to keep people involved and engaged. But that's where we really focus on getting them into leadership classes, putting them in leadership roles instead of letting them get lost in the shuffle. Like, let's give them an opportunity to lead and
Yeah.
count exercises for a class or be a mentor for the day to one of the little ones. I mean, some of those teenagers love helping the 3 and 4-year-olds.
And are amazing, or they'll help our special needs kids, and it's incredible.
And it just boosts their confidence, boosts their self-esteem, because that's what most teenagers struggle with is their confidence and self-esteem because they're just trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, they're not adults, they're not kids, they don't want to be treated like children, but not often enough are people respecting them as young adults.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
anyway, well, that is it. You've got to go.
yeah, you got a private lesson.
I've got a puppy to take care of.
Yeah, you gotta maybe put clothes on instead of pajamas today.
No, I think you guys, this is a pajama day. Look at how cozy. Look behind us. How cozy is it out there?
Must be nice to have a pajama day.
You can wear your pajamas out. The teenagers do it.
Pretty much.
I'll get you some Crocs.
No,
No, I
I will
won't.
not be wearing Crocs. All right, guys, that's it for today. That is our edition of Keep the Flame Alive. And what was the topic again? We're talking about teenagers. It was,
Pa-
nope, not,
Parenting teens.
yeah, parenting teens and having that united front. Parenting teens as a team. All right. Well, guys, share it, like it, comment, and have a great day. Looking forward to next week. Wednesday will be right before
The turkey drops.
the turkey drops. All right, guys. Well, if we don't see you, have a happy Thanksgiving. Kiss. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.